Now, think about the Rat Pack, you know, that whole fantastic thing. Dean Martin, of course, was the king of cool. But off stage, was there another side to him? Our LA reporter Ross King caught up with Dean's daughter, Dina, at her home in LA and discovered the real man behind the legend.
Back in the 50s, a Hollywood legend recorded a classic hit record in those very studios whilst his daughter sat at his feet. Today, she's all grown up and invited us into her Beverly Hills home to reminisce about her dad, Dean Martin. No one encompasses the word star more than Dean Martin. He made 60 movies and recorded over 1,000 songs, and the world loved him. Today, his daughter Dina has released a breathtakingly honest book about her life with Dad, warts and all. Whenever the public thinks about your dad, they smile.
I've had that all my life. When they hear my name, they say, Dina Martin, any relation to Dean Martin? I say yes, and they smile, and it's great.
Yeah. What kind of man would you say he was?
Oh, first of all, I think he was cool. He was unbelievable cool. The way he dressed, the way he looked, his mannerisms. Even Elvis Presley told me that. They call me the king of rock and roll, but your dad is the king of cool.
So cool, in fact, that he was a co-founding member of the Rat Pack that also included Sammy Davis Jr. and Frank Sinatra.
Interestingly enough, in the book you say that Dean wasn't a good father, but he was a good man.
I wish that I had had more time with him, that he could have taken more time and been with us. But he was a good man. He was a kind man, funny, generous, almost to a fault.
One of Dean Martin's long-standing screen partnerships was with comedian Jerry Lewis, and they starred together for many years until their acrimonious split.
Now this happens to be a card. This was a publicity card that they sent out, and they threw these out from windows and cars, and they both signed this one. And Dad and Jerry did make up. They became close again after 20 years because they were just the most incredible comedy team, as I say, in history, and they really did love each other.
And Dad was, how can I put it, he was a little naughty.
You know, I mean, that was the way he was. It's, you know, not to be judgmental about him or anything, but I don't think that there were as many as people, you know, that people say. In fact, Jerry Lewis says that he's the one who was the womanizer, not Dad.
Legendary for his on-stage drunk act, it was a case of life imitating art as Dean struggled with his own drinking problems.
It has to be the classic question. There's Dad on stage, always playing the drunk, but what was really going on?
It was apple juice, and I'm not saying that he didn't drink, you know, but this was his gimmick. And I think that he probably did drink, you know, too much sometimes. You know, and he made such a joke of the drunky bit and that if he did have too much to drink sometime, then it was just, to me, it was like doubly difficult for me and probably for him. So, you know, that's a sad time to me.
Now, after Mom and Dad then divorced, you were kind of unceremoniously dumped in Dad's doorstep right here in Hollywood, weren't you? Mm-hmm. How was Dad towards you then when you moved to the house?
He was sweet. He was always very, very sweet. And we have pictures of us swimming in the pool, playing tennis. That was a very, very nice childhood. And he was a doll.
So many famous people dropping by the house. What was that like?
Frank Sinatra, Uncle Frank, right? And Sammy Davis Jr., Marilyn Monroe came over. I mean, the names, it's unbelievable. And they would just be in the living room. It was a rose-tinted time. It was wonderful.
No stranger to scandals himself, Dean never found out about his daughter's relationship with one of his great friends, Robert Mitchum.
Oh, no. I blush when I think about what he would have thought. That was an amazing time. You know, I mean, was I 18, 20? I was very, very young. Actually, I was 21 or 22. My God, a long time ago.
And Robert Mitchum was the same age as your dad then, wasn't he?
Yes, and they had made a 5-card stud together. So, ooh. That's fun, though.
What else you got here? This is
well,
just
I have the original script from Ocean's 11.
Oh, my. Oh, it's like the Holy Grail.
Yes, it is. See, Dean Martin, Ocean's 11.
God, that's just incredible. Did Dad talk much about, you know, making the movies and...
Well, you know what he loved this one. Now this is kind of rare because the entire script is here. Because usually he would tear out any page he wasn't in, he would tear it out of his script, and it would end up about this big. But he knew Ocean's 11 was a very special movie.
So special that it was remade in 2001 with George Clooney playing the acclaimed role of Danny Ocean.
How would you like to remember Dad?
I'd like to remember him on the stage at the Sands Hotel, 1964, walking out, and the whole audience, you could feel the audience around going, oh, because they knew they were experiencing magic that would never ever happen again. And just, he would light up the stage and he would start to sing, and I just see myself just staring up at him. It's just remarkable. That's how I remember him, and as being so cool.
That's amore.